Back here for the top of the second inning as we've rearranged the power supply to the broadcast booth here and amongst a couple of other things. And thank you for your patience as we resume the broadcast. It was a bit of an eventful bottom of the first, Joe Todd. You were with us, we think, for the Shane Boland strikeout. Brad Ezekiel walked. Nick Shales reached first on a drop third strike.
No, sorry, he struck out on a drop ball.
Struck out on a, oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, trying to decipher the hieroglyphics.
Okay.
Bruno Matroni singled up the middle. Quentin Bruce, and that brought in Brad Ezekiel. Quentin Bruce walked. Lenny Villavazzo singled. Shales, who was running for Matroni when they got to 2 out, was on second base and ended up stealing third. Schofield had the ball in the circle, but there was no time called, so he was able to get the third and then came home on
a double steal.
And again, it just seemed like Bear Creek weren't really prepared here, Joe, for the game. As you said, no physical errors necessarily, but a couple of mental errors led to the second of the runs, and that's where we ended up. Hill United left a couple of guys on, but they scored 2 in the bottom of the first, so we're now in the top of the second. Jeff Lyons continues to be Bear Creek's best hitter. He singles, and we've got Ryan Boland now at the plate, turns to square, pulls it back. So I hopefully caught you up. It's 2-0 for the Hill United Chiefs. Again, if you're just getting back in with us on Softball Premier TV, we had a power interruption here at the broadcast area behind home plate. We've rearranged the power supply to all of the electrical equipment. Hill United pushes across 2 in the bottom of the first. Jeff Lyons singles leading things off here in the top of the second. And we hope that that's the end of the power supply issues. Again, we've made a couple of adjustments and other things at the park. Seem to be overloading the power supply here, Joe. It happened a couple of extra times yesterday as well.
Just a lot of juice going through one line.
Ryan Boland works ball 4 as Marco Diaz can't find the plate, and 2 runners aboard, and that will bring up Riley James, the third baseman for Bear Creek Express. The wind has picked up considerably here, which again is blowing out those black clouds which were overhead earlier this morning. We've actually got the sunshine peeking out, and we've got a couple of stray scraps of paper. Hopefully those aren't the notes with all of the signs for Bear Creek that have blown out onto the field. James pokes at it for strike 1, and both teams, Joe, at least showing bunt. Haven't been able to get one down yet, but showed bunt early.
Great pitch by Diaz on that outside corner of the plate, especially in this bunt situation if they're going to play little ball. Potentially, I'd give rise balls here in that bunt situation.
Squares again, way outside, but it's off the glove of Bruno Matroni, and a slap on the hip from Matroni. He didn't really move to go after that ball, Joe. He just stuck the glove out, and with a little bit of a tail hook on it at the end, it skipped away from him. And now Riley James free to go swinging with runners at second and third.
Yeah, Matroni has to bounce and get out of that spot. Infield for Hill United compressed.
Hard shot in and out of the wickets of Shane Boland and load the bases for Bear Creek with nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Shane got the glove on it, but it just trickled through his legs. It didn't go far, and very wisely, Lyons didn't get far off the bag at third, but it loads the bases, and just a little bit of extra pressure on Hill United now for David Galino, the 9 batter, but he's been stroking the ball well here this year too already.
Extremely good addition to this lineup here. I think Shane kind of cheated a bit. He had a quick look over at Jeff Lyons at third base. Lost contact with that ball.
Chop foul by David Galino.
Well, we have time. I'll do the umpires for this game. Dave Harrington on the plate from Napanee. At first base is Scott McLaren from Penticton, British Columbia. At third base is Kevin DiDomenico from Hamilton, Ontario.
Diaz and Matroni are having a lengthy conversation. Dave Harrington is going to make his way out and break up this tea party. 0-1 to David Galino. Infield in, as you said. Shales, who plays well off the line, and we know all about that. Inside the base paths are both Shane Boland and Lenny Villavazzo. Tony Gonzalez at first now takes a couple of steps in as well. Outside, just off the plate from Diaz, 1-1.
This is a great opportunity for Bear Creek to get right back in this game. Find that reply.
They really do. That was a sloppy bottom of the first inning for them, to be honest. And if they can answer back here with one or and even tie the game, that would be a morale boost for Bear Creek. Hard shot. That's going to get one in for sure. Here comes Ryan Boland. He's turning the corner. Here's the throw. It's up in front, and we got ourselves a tie ball game.
Good punch there by Galino, taking that ball the other way.
He went the other way with it, indeed, in the 5.5 hole between Boland and Shales, and that's the advantage for Bear Creek. They had the infield drawn in. Normally, that's a 2-step to his right, ground ball out for Shane Boland. But back to the top of the shop, runners at first and second, still nobody out. Jordan Pomeroy, who led off with a little flare single to left field over the heads of the infielders. Already here in the top of the second inning, getting his second at bat.
Outfield has moved back to their normal position.
Up and in to Pomeroy, 2-0. Villavazzo is shaded a couple of steps over towards the bag at second. Boland back, as you said, Joe, on normal depth. Adam Folkert is now throwing down in the bullpen for Bear Creek. Hard ground ball. Diaz snags it over to third for the lead runner. They go to first to try to get Pomeroy. Hard hit ball, but right at Marco Diaz.
Good play by Diaz to be sharp and alert, throw that ball over and catch the lead runner.
And Travis Jones is being substituted for here. I wonder if something happened to us. Is coming on to hit here in this 2 spot in the order. As the wind picks up considerably now. And again, it is a tailwind. 28, well 22 right now, but it's going to get up to about 28 today. That's the updated forecast. But you get a good look at Lions Park here in Simcoe, Ontario, the home of the Chiefs Challenge. 3 Diamond Complex, we're only using 2. And it's been a lot of action, Joe, in the last bottom of the first, top of the second. A lot going on. We got ourselves a tie ball game. Nicholas Kloss swings at that first inside pitch and fouls it off out of play.
Diaz with only one strikeout so far in the game. He's thrown a lot of pitches in the first 2 innings.
Inside and gets Kloss to swing over the drop ball.
It's a perfect pitch there.
Diaz, 37 pitches, Joe, to your point, with just the one out here in the second. Upstairs. Pomeroy's at first. David Galino at second. Both run very well. You've got very good arms in the outfield for the Chiefs. And this one again is lifted up on the left side and out of play. Just falls on the other side of the fence.
Great pitch right on the hands of Kloss.
So we'll reset. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Miklas Kloss, the Prague native from Czechia. Swings over the top, an impressive drop ball in the inside corner from Marco Diaz. And Joe, seemed like he's struggling to find the zone a little bit more this inning than he has in the past, at least in the first. So inning to inning almost here with Marco Diaz. Tommy Anoka now to the plate with 2 down. Still a couple of runners out there for the Express. They've managed to tie the game. Bottom of the order coming through for them. Took something off that one. The changeup to open up for Anoka.
Something that's kind of that I've noticed. Diaz is getting behind in that first pitch strike.
Well, evens the count here. 1 ball, 1 strike. And to your point, Joe, he's fallen behind a lot of batters, thrown a lot of pitches. Up now to
that first pitch strike is so important in the pitcher-catcher strategy.
And just misses at the top of the zone. Falling behind Tommy Anoka here, 3-0. At least that's what the scoreboard has got. But I thought he got a called strike in there somewhere. I think 2-1.
It's 2-1, I think. Yeah,
that's
the
what
second
I've got,
ball was a strike.
Mind. Swings over the top, so I've got now 2-2 in my mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tommy took that ball the other way back in the first inning, so you'll see if he will stay on that side. Villavazzo's got a big hole on that side.
Just off the outside corner for ball 3. Another full count. Pomeroy and Galino will be on the move. Long look in from Marco Diaz. Matroni creeps outside. To the glove, called strike 3 on that outside corner. Can't pull the trigger. Bear Creek tie the game with a pair of runs here in the top of the second. They leave 2 aboard. Got ourselves a brand new ball game, Joe. Let's go to the home half and see what the Chiefs have in store for us. 2024 Chiefs Challenge. It's Championship Sunday here on Softball Premier TV.
inch by inch, we will fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. No, we have a lot.
So back for the bottom of the second inning. Tied 2-2 between Bear Creek Hill United. Josh McGovern, who is now effectively the designated player for the Chiefs for the game, with Nick Shales feeling well enough to step in defensively and certainly didn't have any problems moving around the bases out there.
No.
Josh McGovern lists this one out to center. Jordan Pomeroy zigs and zags a little bit, but hauls that in for the first out of the inning.
With one out, the batter will be the right fielder, number 4, Nick White.
And Joe, just an update on the Drillers Gremlins game. It's now 4-1 for the Drillers, leading over the New York Gremlins. Wimamata still in the game for the Drillers. Heard that there had been a quick hook for Pablo Migliavaca after an apparent 2-run home run by the Drillers in the top of the first in that one. So we'll keep an eye on the score.
Good jump those two teams played last night in our late game.
Well, and that's somewhat role reversal, too. The Gremlins poured on the runs in that one last night. They were 8-1 winners over the Drillers, but right now it is all the team from Virginia. Upstairs to White and called a strike as he turned and took the bat around trying to get out of the way of that. That call looks a little familiar.
Yeah, he's got to hold back on that. Adam Folkard back warming up in the bullpen.
And then I would have asked again. It looked like he went halfway around trying to avoid again with the swing. You're going to have to work on that with him. You're absolutely right, because you can't be dragging the bat through the zone when you're ducking away from a pitch.
Nick White very tight on that plate.
These two will see a lot of each other in the Shooters Bar and Grill League down in Nova Scotia. Randy Frame, Chris Hopewell won't know who to cheer for in this particular matchup. Called strike 3, outside corner. Schofield gets the first out. Second out of the inning. So now we've got the opportunity for a quick inning, which we haven't had yet.
The sun's shining, let's play ball. Good clear skies.
It has cleared up magnificently, Joe. I would not have thought this at 8 a.m. this morning. Shane Boland well out in front of the changeup. We're all good over there, Luciano? So far, so good? Let's keep our fingers crossed. The perils of live events. It was a scramble here a little bit in the bottom of the first, and thanks for bearing with us. Low rise ball from Schofield in for a strike. Good spin from Schofield on that. Had that rotation that you want, the 6-12.
Great location, too, against Shane Boland. Shane got caught looking back in that first inning.
That one's just off the outside corner.
Shane was 0 for 4 and when these two teams faced yesterday about 5:30 with 2 strikeouts.
A lot of pitches, Joe, for both of these guys, Diaz and Schofield. Schofield up to 46.
Yeah, that's quite a bit for 2.
Just the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah. The usual is 15 to 16 pitches per inning. What we coaches like to see.
Two and two on Shane Boland, leadoff batter in the order. The 3 batter for the Chiefs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And downstairs, and yet another full count, Joe. It would be a rarity to not have an at-bat go to a full count in this game so far.
Shane has to stay aggressive with the bat. Protect that plate.
And lifts this one up, and that's going to go out of play just behind us here in our location. We are about 12 feet, I want to say, from the back of home plate.
This is ideal for us. I love this.
I'd like to battle the conditions just a little less.
If anything, we need to be elevated about 5 to 6 feet and up on a little platform if you had your preference.
Again, I would take an enclosure as well in that position.
That way we're not getting blocked by the umpire and the catcher.
So full count, let's do this one more time. Setup is outside, called strike 3 again on that outside corner. Trying to work the walk, can't pull it off. And a 1-2-3 inning for Justin Schofield and the Bear Creek Express. We'll see if they can keep the momentum on their side. We'll go to the top of the 3rd, tied at 2. And now we've got a little bit of a set to here. Schofield and Boland, some sharp words. I didn't realize that was going on.
Yeah.
Ryan trying to play peacemaker in the middle of that, get his brother off the field and get his pitcher off the field.
Yeah.
That was something. Bruno Matroni and Wayne Laulu are just going to go chat about it. All right, we'll go to the break. Cooler heads have prevailed.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms.
To start off the top of the 3rd inning, we go to Wayne Lalu, the designated player for the Bear Creek Express, followed by Colin Walsh and Jeff Lyons.
And Joe, these two teams really setting up the Battle of Ontario here yesterday and here this morning.
These two teams also played on Thursday night.
Yeah, they've seen a lot of each other in the last couple of weeks because they played in Mitchell at the Canada East qualifier in the winter bracket final. They played Thursday in a quote-unquote friendly exhibition, which, as far as I heard, and you were there were no fireworks to speak of, but definitely they've lit the fuse here early this morning after yesterday's intense battle.
Certainly building up the tenacity, which is good to see. I don't mind that competition.
So ball 1 to Wayne Laulu. Wayne walked in the first. And that pitch not close for ball 2. But safe to say, Joe, this rivalry absolutely is building, and some intensity already. We're just in week 2 of the official Ontario ISC season.
I think Wayne yawned at the plate.
And 3-0, Diaz falling behind and a bit of a shake of the head.
Again, just getting behind, throwing a lot of pitches. You can't get behind to a hitter like Wayne Lalu. You know he's going to come to the plate. Wayne will be good and aggressive.
Well, right down Davis for strike one, taking all the way, Wayne Laulu. Look for Wayne to be aggressive here.
Okay.
High hopper on the infield. Boland throws out Wayne Laulu from shortstop.
Good high bounce there by Shane Boland. Picked that ball up and fired over to first base.
Colin Walsh now to the plate. Colin down on strikes to end the first inning. And Diaz gets in front here with the first pitch strike.
That's a good pitch to get ahead in the count. He's got to do that more often.
Foul back out of play, so 0-2. Advantage Marco Diaz. Joe, we're an hour into this one now. We're just in the bottom of the third inning.
Yeah.
Not exactly moving along, but lots of action.
Wind dies. Now the wind is picked back up again.
Little one hopper off the bat of Walsh. Marco Diaz will easily handle that. And easy underhand toss to first for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Jeff Lyons, hottest guy in the lineup for Bear Creek. They were trailing to Toronto Batmen yesterday afternoon in a game. Jeff Lyons come up with a couple runners aboard, delivered a 2-run single to put them out in front at the time. Swings at that drop in the outside corner, and again, Diaz gets strike one.
That was a nice pitch. Good location, outside. If he does get a bat on the ball, it's going to stay in the infield.
Tried to go back to that same spot, just missed low. Hard shot, but right into the glove of Tony Gonzalez down at first base. He just reached down and snared that one off the bat of Jeff Lyons. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for Marco Diaz and the Hill United Chiefs. In the top of the third, we'll go to the home half, still tied at 2. Hill United Chiefs, Bear Creek Express. Winner goes to the championship game.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Bradley Ezekiel to lead things off for Hill United Chiefs here in the bottom of the third inning. Bradley walked, stole second, and scored. That was all in that exciting first inning. And a good changeup from Justin Schofield to open things up for Bradley Ezekiel. And Joe, just as important for Justin Schofield as it is for Marco Diaz to get ahead in the count. These guys have thrown a lot of pitches here over the first 3 innings.
Exactly. Both these teams, both these pitchers now have to get back into a routine. Get ahead in the count, keep the ball pitches per inning low. Just missing.
7 batters rather, in the first inning, but then a 1-2-3 second, which was a much better inning for Schofield.
I noticed at the start of this inning, head coach from the Bear Creek Express, Todd Idino, walked with Justin Schofield out to the mound, had a few words with him, and just kind of calmed him down and had a little smile, and just to kind of break up that potential competition push that he had back in that second inning.
Well, it was a fractious end to the second inning indeed. And swing and a miss, a good sequence there from Ryan Boland and Justin Schofield, and that's a good move, Joe, as you said, by Todd Idenaway, just to keep things cool for Schofield, who can get a little overheated at times, as can Shane Boland. So yes, that's something that we'll keep an eye on when Shane comes up again. Janet Boland noting things look pretty intense. Janet cheering for both teams.
I'm sure Christmas presents will still be exchanged.
Nick Shales. And that was a heads-up move by Nick Shales during the power interruption. On second base, Schofield had the ball in his hand, but he had his back turned to Shales, who was on second base, and he just took off for third. Nobody noticed, and he pretty much unattended waltzed all the way down to third base and then came in on the double steal. And I think Bear Creek definitely rattled at that point, but they certainly have recovered, and we got ourselves a tie ball game.
Yeah, good smart play there by Shales. Always sharp on the bases, in the field. Schofield struck him out on a drop ball back in the first inning.
Well, that one is short. We'll run the count to 3-0.
Schofield with 5 strikeouts so far in the game.
Pours in strike 1, top of the zone.
It's a nice breaking pitch for that right-handed batter.
And Shales will foul off that inside drop ball. And Ryan Boland is battling either a loose contact or something else, Joe, because he turned around, he got the sun in his eye, but he really squinted and almost recoiled there. So keep an eye on Ryan, too. Came out of a game, or at the very least was struggling with it yesterday as well. Inside and low, ball 4. Schofield thought he had Shales caught looking.
Third walk by Schofield this morning.
Now at that, the catcher, number 28, Bruno Matroni.
Matroni had a hard single up the middle back in the first. And we're going to stick with the behind the plate shot for a couple of minutes here as the center field camera, victim of the wind, has taken a spill. That camera's unattended, so Luciano Lafrano is going to go set that one back up. Down and in to Bruno Matroni. And again, the perils, Joe, of live broadcasts when you're battling the elements.
Mm-hmm.
Poked foul down the right side. Adam Folkert back up and throwing down in the bullpen for Bear Creek. They're going to want to keep him ready, obviously, in case things go pear-shaped here for the Express. Adam always throws a lot on the sidelines, whether he's in the game or not. He threw probably 100 pitches on the sidelines the other night. Big rise ball from Schofield. Blows it right past Bruno Matroni.
Bruno wanted that pitch too. Just a little bit of a rise ball there by Schofield.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Bruno Matroni.
So important now to change that pitching sequence.
And swing and a miss. Gets him to chase the rise ball up and out of the zone for strike 3. That is the Justin Schofield that we saw the other night, Joe, and last weekend as well. Really getting that rise ball to pop for strike 3.
Had some good speed on that ball too. Great movement.
Quentin Bruce to the plate now with 2 down. Nick Shales, the runner. Even the count at 1-1. Keeping an eye on the other semifinal, it's still 4-1 for the Drillers. Kubo Sichka is on to pitch for the New York Gremlins. Swings over the top of a good inside drop ball from Schofield.
Bruce, another one of those batters that really crowd the plate.
Yeah, he is right on top of it, isn't he? He's got the feet right up against the inside batter's box line if it was there, but called strike 3 there. Down goes Quentin Bruce on strikes. They strand Nick Shales at first.
Struck out the side.
We'll go to the top of the 4th, still tied at 2. Luciano Lafrano is going to make his way back to the control booth here. We got the center field camera back set up. Joe, it's been an exciting weekend here in Simcoe. We've had some good games. We've had some games get a little out of hand, and I think my observation so far, and again, it's very early in the season, first set of weekend games for the Gremlins and for the Drillers. Second weekend for the Chiefs and for Bear Creek. But so far, I would say Gremlins and the Chiefs look to be a half step ahead and Bear Creek, but that's just on yesterday's results. The Drillers certainly looking a little bit better today with Huemo Mata facing off against the Gremlins.
Yeah, those two teams playing really well so far. It's been a great weekend, but again, we talked about the fact that some of these players, the import players, are just arriving, maybe only arriving 7 to 10 days ago. Trying to get some harmony amongst the players.
Well, the New Zealand players would not have been in action since their season wrapped up in late March, but Australia, Mexico, Argentina, they've all been playing through the spring.
And then down in Hermosillo, especially with the Australians.
Yeah, exactly. And the Czech Republic players too. So there's barely an off season for a lot of these guys. The Canadians and the Americans, however, haven't really been playing much other than maybe a couple of league games here and there, and then the tournament last weekend. So some guys are playing catch up. It's mid-season for others. Ryan Boland chases this one out of the zone for strike 2. Diaz worked the changeup there. He doesn't seem to have the same pace, Joe, that we've seen the last couple of days too. He's throwing a lot of changeups.
Yeah.
Setup is way outside and just off the plate.
So important for Bear Creek Express to get the bat of Ryan Boland working. Ryan was 0 for 3 in the previous game against Hill. Got on by way of a walk. Took him to a full count back in the second inning.
Well, he walked and scored.
Yep.
Again, the setup is outside, but he crossed him up and came back in. The setup was for off the plate, and Bruno Matroni had to reach back in for it, but called a strike nonetheless. It's pretty good when you miss your spot to still get a strike. You can see it here. Watch Matroni creep out, and then he's got to reach back for it. Looks like it's right at the belt on the replay. Now, of course, the camera's offset a little, but
Good frame by Matroni.
Riley James reached on the infield error back in the second inning. Joe, you said Riley had quite the night on Thursday between these two teams.
Yeah, 2 back-to-back home runs. 1 home run back in the second inning and another one in the fourth.
5 RBIs in that game. That's a night.
Yes.
To the outside corner for strike 1. James with the Australian national team. So here's a guy who is fresh from competition. Just came in this week from Hermosillo. Had a notion, but did not go. They're going to check just in case with Kevin D. Domenico, and he says no. Chases that one up in the zone. That's a good pitch there on the outside corner from Marco Diaz. And again, same spot, same result. Riley James can't catch up to that one from Marco Diaz. Down on strikes. That's 2 for the inning.
Good sequence of pitches there. Great location.
David Galino to the plate as the sun intensifies a little bit more here at Lions Park in Simcoe, Ontario. And that clips Galino on the back, or maybe it got him on that arm pad, but he's been a target out there. I think that's the 3rd hit by pitch for David Galino in the last couple of games. This one looked a little bit more by accident maybe than a couple yesterday. He and Tony Gonzalez are having a chuckle about it down at first. Well, Pomeroy to the plate, 1 for 2. He had that single to lead off the game, just dumped it over the infield into short left, then reached on a fielder's choice in the second. Diaz struggling with his spots. Matrone again wanted that one outside, and that was on the inside corner to Pomeroy, fouled off, and it was a bit of a wry grin from Marco Diaz after the pitch as he came in to get the ball. He's looking at Bruno like, I'm just not finding it right now. Outside there, and that was where Matrone wanted it.
You wonder if that wind that's coming up every so often is affecting the pitching. It's periodically, it just comes in, comes out, stops, and
well, you're definitely going to get some resistance from it. It's fractional, obviously, but you'd think it would help the rise ball in particular. There's a high hopper on the infield. Pomeroy wanted to get the dead ball call, and he got it from Scott McLaren down at first base. Went off the foot in the box. That's a hard call for the home plate umpire. The first base umpire's got a much better look at it. He jumped on it right away. Pomeroy was thinking it was going to have to be a live ball because he didn't move out of the box. On the move now goes Galino. He's going to slide right into the tag. So out on the stolen base.
great gun there by Matrone. Perfect spot.
Catcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Lenny Viavazzo, Tony Gonzalez, and Josh McGovern. 6, 7, 8 for Hill United Chiefs in the bottom of the fourth inning. Tied at 2 with the Bear Creek Express. A big bottom of the first inning for the Chiefs for their 2 runs. Bear Creek answering right back in the second. Things have calmed down a little since then, Joe, but you just get the sense that it's bubbling right under the surface, and it could erupt at any moment.
But both pitchers have found their game in the last 2 innings.
Called a strike on the outside corner, 1-1 to Viavazzo. Lenny just pounds out the hits, doesn't he?
Yeah, just great power hitter and finds the gap.
Singled in the first. This one is fouled up and out of play on the left side. Ryan Boland will give a bit of chase to the fence. Adam Falker, just like clockwork, is out throwing in the bullpen again. Want to say hello to our good friend Jim Flanagan, joining us from Torrance, California. Called strike 3 in the inside corner. Viavazo looks at that pitch for a strike.
With 1 out, the batter will be the
8
first
strikeout
baseman,
for
number 2,
Schofield.
Gonzalez.
Second back-to-back caught looking for Hill United. Have to get more aggressive with those bats.
Change up and way out in front is Tony Gonzalez, and they've thrown the changeup, Joe, a couple times now for first pitch, and Matroni and Diaz have been doing the same thing. You might want to go up looking for it the odd time. Don't be caught by surprise by it, at least anyway. And another one back to back.
Great call by Ryan Boland. Yeah, they'll be trying to pick a corner. I would try and pick a corner on that outside corner of the plate. Good shot by Schofield. Hitting the target out there. Set up by Ryan Boland. Pitch and release, fouled out by Gonzalez.
Schofield up to 75 pitches here now in the bottom of the fourth. Chopper on the infield coming across is Riley James, throws high, and they get him on the tag. That's a great play by Jeff Lyons to bail out Riley James. He made a great play, Joe, to come across. That's what you want your third baseman to do, but sailed the throw. Jeff Lyons, who's about 6'2", 6'3", went way up in the air and came down with the glove in the running lane and tagged out.
The advantage of having a tall first baseman.
Yeah, indeed. There are a couple of guys who play first that don't get to make that play. Riley James will 0-1 to Jeff Lyons when this one is all said and done. Low rise ball, McGovern swings through it for strike 1.
I think James was just aware of the speed of Gonzalez going down that line. Usually you have time to plant your feet and make that throw, but he threw it off balance, kind of up in the air too.
Well, he let it go from coming over the top on the run and just missed the release point with it. You've got to be on the run with that play because you're cutting across in front of the shortstop. 1-2 as Schofield picks up the pace a little bit here too, just in terms of time in between pitches. He's virtually always a quick worker as it is.
I love how Schofield works. Oh, great pitch.
Just inside. And just as quickly, the pace comes right back down. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 2 runs apiece on the scoreboard. Bear Creek and Hill United Chiefs. The Battle of Ontario, as we're going to call this from now on. That's fouled out of play.
Again, Ryan's squinting a lot too.
It's bright,
Maybe,
but he's really struggling with the eyes right now. All the foul balls. We need some more kids around, Joe, to get the balls back. I know they were offering 50 cents for them. Used to be only 25, but getting 50 today.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you'd be out running around looking after foul balls.
I got the championship game.
That's true. Called strike 3. Schofield sets down the side in order here in the 4th. Bear Creek will come up as we'll head to the top of the 5th inning, tied at 2. Stay with us here on Softball Premier TV. Chiefs Challenge semifinals.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at monthill.ca. We can't wait to see you soon. Welcome to
Dreamcatcher, inch by inch, we'll fight to make the lives of First Nations people in this community, this province, and on this continent better. I know we have a long way to go, but I'm proud to say as long as our people have a need, Dreamcatcher will be there for them.
Jordan Pomeroy for Bear Creek Express in the top of the 5th inning, and we just had a tremendous gust of wind go through, carried a big cloud of dust with it, and it looked like it shifted a bit, Joe. It was straight out to center field earlier, but now it's left to right, and if you get one up into that jet stream into right field,
It's going to move.
it's going to carry. And inside to Pomeroy, fooled everybody, including Bruno Matroni. 1 ball, 1 strike. Still 4-1 for the Northeast Drillers over the New York Gremlins. That's in the top of the 5th inning as well. So we're right on schedule, both of these games. Nick Shales dives, turns, throws, and gets Jordan Pomeroy, and deservedly so, gets a round of applause from the crowd here at Lions Park in Simcoe. Great play by Shales.
Threw from his knees. Great upper body strength with that throw.
Well, Nick, as we all know, plays well off the line, counts on the reflexes to be able to get those ones that are going to get to his right, and shows it there that he's still got it. Up and in to Miklas Klaas. Klaas came in for Travis Jones in the 2nd inning. Don't know whether something is up with Travis health-wise, or if they just had a better feeling with Miklas Klaas against Marco Diaz. Chases downstairs for strike 2. Fights off that inside pitch. That's a good battle to stay alive, Joe. That was a tough pitch to handle.
Yeah, good pitch by Diaz, keeping that ball tight on his hands.
Diaz now at 80 pitches for the morning. The wind makes a return visit. And there on the outside corner, not called a strike. Two and two to Miklas Kloss, and misses downstairs. Run it to a full count.
Again, both teams have to get aggressive on a full count.
And can't pull the trigger. And Joe, exactly to your point, there have been a lot of backward Ks in the scoreboard, particularly on the Chiefs side, but Miklas Kloss joining that particular club. 6 on the game for Marco Diaz. Tommy Anoka also caught looking back in the second inning. Ran the hand up the bat, maybe just to get the infield moving a little bit. Other than the hit batter in the fourth, Diaz has been very good at shutting the Express down after that uprising in the second. He was good in the third, good in the fourth, and so far here, Joe, looking to get out of the fifth unscathed.
Shale's really playing off the line. Is Anoka known to go up the middle more often?
Well, Shales is always going to be off the line, but it's even more
with,
pronounced right now. In fact,
he's
playing almost second short.
Yeah.
He's way off the line. That one is lifted out to short right. That's going to be a long run for Villavazo. Falls in front of Nick White. Neither of them could get to that little bloop off the bat of Tommy Anoka, and he's aboard with a base hit. That's their first base hit since the second inning. Wayne Laulu now. Walk and a ground out for Wayne here this morning.
Little punch there by Anoka, just putting that bat on the ball. Hit it where they're not. Find a spot.
Line shot, and Lenny Villavazo ranges over to his right and picks that off before it gets out to the grass. Robs Wayne Laulu of a base hit. 2 excellent plays bookending this inning for the Hill United Chiefs defensively. Gets them out of a little mini jam in the fifth. We'll go to the bottom. Still tied at 2. The Battle of Ontario rages on.
Welcome to Mont Hill Golf and Country Club. With our beautiful 27-hole golf course open to the public, we work tirelessly to ensure your time with us is second to none. Well, here you'll be able to enjoy an incredible dining experience at our very own Big Pete's Steakhouse. Play some of the best courses in the world with our state-of-the-art golf simulators. Upgrade your gear with the top brands at our pro shop, or host a stunning wedding, event, or conference inside one of our beautiful ballrooms. Learn all this and more at Mont.
Nick White will lead things off. We'll go 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Joe, it's been since the first that the Hill United guys had a base hit.
Yes, it's just been a good job by Schofield to keep those bats contained, but the Chiefs' bats have been very quiet.
Off the bottom of the 5th for
White shows bunt, pulls it back for ball 1.
White.
Chiefs have to get more aggressive with those bats. Schofield has 9 strikeouts in the game. 7 of them are caught looking.
7.
7 of the 9.
Yeah, they got to start swinging the bat. You're absolutely right. That one is fouled off over the screen. Adam Folkard continues to throw in the bullpen for Bear Creek. White wants to try to get a bunt down, draws James and Jeff Lyons in. I'd be tempted to run the slap defense against Nick White. At least draw Tommy Anoka in a little bit and maybe keep Lyons back. But they're going with the more conventional defense with the corners crashing for the short game. Again, gets
Good
it down.
play.
Lyons hustles, and in and out of the glove of Anoka. White is going to pick it up and speed up to second. They're going to ask, because there's no safe base here, Joe, about whether or not he was in the lane and whether or not that is runner interference. It's a bang-bang play. You'll see it right there.
Now at that,
He's got to get to the bag. He has to step over the bag without the safe base there. So
I think
I
he
don't
was
know
in
that
the
there's
line.
a case.
I don't think. Yeah, I think he was. I think Tommy has to squeeze that ball.
I think if to your point, I think if Tommy felt more strongly about it, he might have made a bit more of an argument. But he has to reach for that, and then to your point, he's got to hang on to it. So up to second base on the error, and Nick White, blazing speed, anything on the grass, he is going to likely score. Shane Boland is one of the guys, Joe, that's got to swing the bat. Twice caught looking. Off the corner for ball 1, and these two had the coming together at the end of the second inning.
This will be fun to watch.
Hard shot. James can't corral it, throws, and manages to get Boland at first. That's a good play by Riley James over there to stick with it. It was in and out of the glove and rolled behind him. But Shane Boland moves Nick White up to third on the play. He hits this hard, but right at Riley James. You see it rattle around, throws it from the knees, and a good scoop over there by Jeff Lyons, too, to get the out.
Good aggressive base running there by Nick White to read that and advance to third base.
Schofield asking for a different ball. He's going to come in and laugh about it with Bradley Ezekiel. You don't want me to throw this one at you. These guys are often on the same plane coming to and from tournaments, because sometimes the flight from St. John's stops in Halifax along the way, one way or the other. But also Team Canada teammates, and just you're on the circuit together. You see each other all the time. So there's some harsh words out there from time to time in the heat of the battle, but everybody's going to laugh that off, and they'll joke about it in the beer garden afterwards. Big spot here for Hill United to take advantage and maybe score an unearned run here.
So important for Brad to get that ball up in the air.
Infield is in. This one is straight up and out. An advantage Hill United here, Joe, with the infield in. What would normally be or could potentially be an out if the infielders are back 5-6 feet and just give them the opportunity to move laterally one way or the other. We've seen this a few times now, and especially even where Bear Creek scored their runs.
Two ball game here, bottom of the 5th inning.
Drop ball misses well down from Schofield, and it's a good job by Ryan Boland to get in front of that one.
Well, I think it's a good pitch call to keep throwing drops to Brad in this situation. You want to keep that ball down, keep that ball in the infield. Potential, if you give that rise ball, it's going to go up in the air, the outfield.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep the ball down, indeed. Well, too late.
Night.
Bradley Ezekiel, goodbye. Over the perimeter fence, into the trees. A 2-run home run. Bradley Ezekiel does it again.
Too much of the plate there by that pitch by
Well,
Justin
you
Schofield.
said keep the ball down,
Yeah.
throw drop balls. That was an inside rise. Bradley Ezekiel turns on it. Watch it here. Just mashes it.
Just right down in his zone.
Home run swing from Brad Ezekiel. 4-2 now for the Hill United Chiefs. And Joe, 4-2 for the Northeast Drillers. Still a home run by Jerome Remeke gets the New York Gremlins a little closer. That game in the bottom of the 5th inning. So we're tracking on pace here. Bottom of the 5th, both of these games. Todd Idenaway is now making his way back out onto the field, and Adam Folkert is going to be right behind him. So we'll take a break with the pitching change. Hill United Chiefs, courtesy of a Brad Ezekiel 2-run home run, now out in front. So Adam Folkert in to face Nick Shales. First pitch downstairs. (4-3) Joe Todd in the other semifinal between the Drillers and the New York Gremlins. As Nick Shales delivers a single up the middle. Big turn at first, and Nick Shales looks 100% healthy right now.
Yes.
Still with one out. Now batting the catcher, number 28, Bruno Matroni.
A chopper, but just foul. But I think you'd want to let that go a little bit further foul if I'm Riley James. That was pretty close to the line when he picked that one up.
Pitching line for Justin Schofield, 4 in the third inning. 4 runs, 4 hits, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks.
The big blow, the home run by Bradley Ezekiel. One of those runs unearned as Nick White had reached on the error. Fouled off by Bruno Matroni, so 0-2 on the Hill United Chiefs cleanup batter. Just off the plate for ball 1. And in and out of the glove of Bolin, and a free base for Nick Shales. Boland and Folkert both have the wristbands on, Joe, with the signs, and I just saw Adam tap the wristband. They'll go to that system now for the signs with a runner on second base. You see Adam looking down to the wristband. Rise ball up and out of the zone.
It's just so much more important to the pitcher and the catcher to stay on that same page, especially when there's runners on base. Just can't give up extra bases.
Foul tip, and that got a big bite out of Ryan Boland, who after a long, hot weekend is very slow to get up. And I'll tell you something, Joe, as we both know, if Ryan Boland is feeling it, everybody is feeling it, because he's the toughest guy in the diamond. Todd Idenaway came out to check on Ryan, and he just glared at him to get back in the dugout. And
he got dinged 2 or 3 times hard yesterday, too.
Yeah, you know, he has had a very, very tough weekend defensively, just in terms of the nicks and cuts that you get behind the plate.
I wonder if Air Canada's got a cold tub on the plane with a trip home.
Yeah, he might want something. Chopper on the infield. Galino
tried, great try.
Wow, he tried to get Bruno Matroni. I got blocked out by the umpire who moved across. You can see it, he bobbles it, and on the throw, it just doesn't get Bruno Matroni.
Well, he threw that ball up in the air. He was off his feet when he let the ball go. Great attempt.
So Matroni is going to give way to Tyler Brancho for pinch running duties. While John Stewart is down making the change, the Express will have an infield meeting out on the pitcher's circle. Quentin Bruce to the plate. Big opportunity here for the Chiefs to break this one open. Runners on the corners. Jeff Ellsworth has been very aggressive with putting runners in motion. Brancho, good wheels. Not quite in the same class as Nick White or Biondi, but he still runs very well. And an opportunity, like we said here, Joe, to maybe put some stress on the defense. White drops a bunt down. It's foul.
Bruce dropped a bunt down.
Yes, you're right. Bruce dropped a bunt down. I was thinking of something else.
But good play. I love that.
Well, it's not what anybody might have been expecting. You see it here, and watch Ryan Boland with the cup check on Nick Shales. Chases the rise ball upstairs for strike 2.
Very key component to for Hill United to get Quentin Bruce's bat going. Very quiet yesterday. Had a good game Friday night.
I list this one foul. A walk-in was caught looking back in the third. So that was all against Justin Schofield, facing Adam Folkert now. And time at the plate for Bruce. Doesn't wear the batting gloves, so you want to make sure you've got the dry hands.
Back-to-back hits given up by Folkert here.
And again, fouled out of play. Adam Folkert getting his choice there of about 4 or 5 balls that they brought out. It was like the high-end steak restaurant. Which cut of meat do you want? They bring them all out to you on the platter. So we'll get reset. 0-2 to Quentin Bruce. 1 down in the inning. Runners on the corners. Straight back to the screen. Bruce with a good hack at that high offering from Adam Folkert.
Maybe it's just me, but that bat looks so small in Bruce's hands. Maybe just the size of him and his grip on the bat.
Little ground ball through the legs. Out at second. Safe at first. Shales scores on the play. If you were going to hit a ball on the infield, Joe, that was the perfect place to put it, yes, with no opportunity to make a play at the plate. Tommy Anoka picked it up on the backhand and stepped on the bag all in one motion.
With 2 outs, the batter will be the
So
second
5-2 now for the Hill United Chiefs, and Lenny Villavazo to face Adam Folkert. Dead ball at the plate here.
Villavazo just looped one into left field back in the first inning. Good bounce there by Boland. Get up out of the crouch.
It was a good bluff by Quentin Bruce. He didn't turn the shoulders until about the third stride. On the move this time, throw down. It actually hits a divot in the mound. And Ryan Boland really suffering out there, Joe. He's struggling physically because that throw only made it about 45 feet in the air. And he got lucky actually on the bounce because it was destined for right center field otherwise.
Good aggressive base running there by Ellsworth, head coach.
Well, I'm sure we're not the only ones noticing the situation behind the plate as Villavazo chases upstairs for strike 2. I'll be honest, I would have thought they might have put somebody in motion with runners on the corners. Back to the wrist guard with the runner on second base. Laced by Lenny Villavazo. Here comes Quentin Bruce around the corner. The throw is cut off, and headfirst slide by Villavazo into second. It's all Hill United Chiefs right now, Joe Todd. Now 6-2.
Yeah, Adam Folkert has not been able to contain the bats of Hill United Chiefs here in this replacement for starter Justin Schofield.
Now Now batting, the first baseman, number 2.
We talked coming into the
Gonzalez.
inning that Hill United hadn't had a base hit since the first. They've strung them together here in the 5th and broken this one open.
4 hits for Hill United in this inning.
In for a strike. Right to the screen, and Lenny Villavazzo up to third base. Four and counting for the Chiefs here in the 5th. Time at the plate by Boland. You do not want to get surprised by a pitch here. Make it 2-1. And 3-1. This one misses down and in. Tony Gonzalez looking to extend this lead, but he'll take ball 4, and we're back to runners on the corners. Josh McGovern will try to get another run in for the Chiefs, the 9th batter of the inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number 21, Josh McGovern.
That was a nice pitch. Had a good little wiggle in it.
Up and in to Josh McGovern for a strike. And that one gets through Boland. Villavazzo will slide in safely and make it 7-2. All Hill United right now getting all the breaks. You can just see this one skips in on Boland. It really fell off the table right in front of his glove.
I've got 3 wild pitches on since Adam Folkart's come in the game.
Been a long inning for the defense out there for the Bear Creek Express. 9 batters and counting. Two and 2 on McGovern. And that breeze, Joe, which was warmer, almost tropical earlier this morning, now isn't. This one is drilled by McGovern out to the fence. That's going to rattle around. Gonzalez will score. Make it 8-2. And Joe, very suddenly, we're a run away from an early end to this one.
Yes.
This has just gotten away from the Bear Creek Express here in the 5th inning. Nick White appearing for the 2nd time here in the 5th inning. You go all the way back to the start, and he put down a bunt. It was fielded cleanly by Jeff Lyons. Tomanoka couldn't handle the throw as a bit of a, not a collision, but running into the tag, and the ball in and out of the glove. And it's really just gone downhill from there for the Bear Creek Express. A pinch runner now as Luca Biondi is out at second base, and that's a good trade for Hill United. Biondi, should something happen with McGovern, Josh can always go back in, but Biondi can catch as well. So they're covered either way if something should happen to Bruno Matroni.
Good depth in the lineup.
Now running at second, number
But that's a big run. If you can get out of this game this inning, you save pitches for Marco Diaz. You get the guys off the field to rest. Still 4-3 for the Drillers in the bottom of the sixth inning in the other semifinal, but I see the Gremlins are threatening with a pair of runners in that one. Two 2-0 to Nick White. Chases this one off the plate for strike one.
Nick White right on top of that plate. Gonna have to turn those hands real quick.
You see Folker checking the wrist guard. And that, again, short hops Boland. And easily up to third base goes Biondi. You can't have another one of those. That's going to be the ball game if that happens again. Three and one to Nick White. And they're going to ask, as that's up and in for ball four, and he went around again trying to get out of the way of the pitch. That's the third time that's happened to Nick at the plate. They're really going to need to work on that with him. You can't have that happen in a critical situation. You want him down at first base and Shane Boland at the plate. Now Folker is a pitch away from getting out of the inning.
He's got to work on holding those hands back.
Well, he did that time, and that was ball four, not close. And indeed, we'll get to see Shane Boland here get an opportunity to walk off the game against his former teammate for a number of years, going all the way back to 2017 when Shane Boland joined the Hill United Chiefs. Upstairs, ball one. Boland hit the ball hard. And that is through. I was about to say hit the ball hard to the left side, but that one goes through the 5.5 hole, and that is the ball game. Hill United Chiefs erupt for 7 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They walk off the Bear Creek Express, and they will fight for the championship in the Hill United Chiefs Challenge. Opponent to be determined, but it could be, Joe, the New York Gremlins, as now they've got a 5-4 lead. Come back with us probably in half an hour, maybe a little bit more. Could be the Gremlins, could be the Drillers, but we know it's going to be the Hill United Chiefs in the championship game of the 2024 Chiefs Challenge.
For the latest in softball innovation, the website where you can experience the best tournaments in the Americas. Live games, news, tournaments, and much, much more. The best quality live softball, on demand so you can watch when you want. Become a Premier member now, softballpremiertv.com.